Let's keep calm and mother on. Mothering is way too important to do alone and way too serious to be serious all the time. My name is Christy Thomas, and I am here shoulder to shoulder with you, mothering and enjoying life together. This is the podcast where you can focus on being mindful and taking a deep breath with me and learning new things so you can pause and savor the amazing life you already have. Now let's go. Welcome to February. If you're listening to this in real time, this episode is coming out in February of 2021. And February just has that vibe of self-love and love for our kids and humanity. The marketing for Valentine's Day is strong. So instead of focusing on all of that marketing, I want to talk to you about what it means to be a good mom. There's this famous quote by Churchill, which turns out to be author of mystery books, it looks like. But she has a quote that says, "There's no way to be a perfect mother and a million ways to be a good one." There's no way to be a perfect mother and a million ways to be a good one. I think that's really important to remember in this month of February that's filled with love and glowing things and hearts everywhere. Because it's easy to feel when we're presented with all this hyped up stuff about what love is, that love is chocolates and flowers and homemade cards, that we can feel like if we don't have those things, we are not good enough in some way. And that is completely bogus. Because when we're looking at hearts and chocolate and things like that, what we're looking at is like some final product, right? Like a project turned in for a stamp of approval. And that's not where we find the million ways of good. Where we find the million ways to be a good mom isn't how other people reward us for showing up. It's in our own effort. If you've listened here for multiple shows, you know that I am a big fan of the growth mindset paradigm, that there is always hope of getting better, that you are not stuck where you are, that there is room for you to grow. You are not a fixed set point, right? That your brain or your level of mathematics in the 5th grade doesn't have to be your stopping point. That you get to choose to embrace the challenge and keep moving. That's what the growth mindset is. There's room for growth. Fixed mindset means you're stuck with what you have. So when we embrace Valentine's Day or any other thing as the judgment of motherhood, then we're having this fixed mindset because we're not acknowledging the effort that we see going on. And what we really need to do for all of February and really always forever is to praise the effort. Very rarely is life, parenting, about a final product. Let's be honest, guys. As moms, we won't see the final product of our kids. I don't know when the final product of me will ever be around. When will I be done? When I'm dead? So all we can do is praise the effort and model the effort and acknowledge the effort. Being a human is hard sometimes. And just showing up and saying that it's hard sometimes is enough. You can have good vibes and bad vibes. We don't need to make it all rainbows and sunshine sometimes. We can just say we're overwhelmed. And maybe the right person will listen and help us come up with a strategy. Dry our tears a little bit. Bring us ice cream. go for a walk, whatever the best coping strategy is for that moment. But you didn't give up because the effort was put in to acknowledge the truth of the moment. But the real truth is that what we're struggling with here, right, is that there is no way to be a perfect mom. None. Zilch. Zero. Perfection cannot be found in motherhood. You cannot be a perfect mom. And if you have more than one kid, you probably know this by now, that your mothering might feel the same to you or not the same to you for every single kid in your house. But there is no way to be a perfect mom. So we need to keep focusing in on the effort that we're putting in. The effort that feels good to you, because your parenting style is really about being your truest and best self. Are you filling your cup up? Right? Because you have a cup of energy. Are you starting the day feeling like a human? And maybe your kids are really little and not sleeping through the night yet. Maybe your kids are teenagers and staying up all night and wanting to chat with you. Or maybe you're in that sweet spot of just having to wake up early to make sure the tooth fairy came. Let me tell you, there is no way to be a perfect mom at any of those stages. There is no way to be a perfect mom at any time in your life, even when your kid is 40. So what we can do is praise the effort. Did you do something today that made you feel human? Did you do something today that made you look your kids in the eyes one-on-one? Did you apologize after you raised your voice or had some sort of other disagreement with your kids that didn't go how you wanted to? Praise your effort. You're allowed to be human. You're supposed to be human. So you're going to have worry. You're going to have fear. You're going to have anxiety. And all of that is going to tumble into your parenting, tumble into your being a human. But you're just a human. So this month, I encourage you to cut out some paper hearts and notice what's going right every day as a family. I know that this is coming out on February 5th, so if you've done it on your own so far, great job. But if you haven't, just start now. Do the whole month. Don't stop at Valentine's Day. And cut out hearts and notice what one thing went really well that day as a family. What effort do you want to see again? Maybe it's just love notes to yourself. For the whole month of February, write your own Post-it notes to yourself or cut out hearts and say, I held my tongue. I didn't respond. I let my kid just have the last word. Teenage parents, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's not always worth it. What else can you do? Maybe you set an alarm clock and you went to bed at what felt like a luxurious time for you. Maybe you read a book instead of distracting yourself with other people's highlights reels that make you feel bad. Let's praise our effort together. I am all for cheering you on. I need you to know that while we're in our own homes, mothering our own kids, right? Like the village seems so small sometimes. But you are not in any way alone. You are amazing, and I am so glad that you are here on earth in this very moment. Reach out to me over Instagram. please send me an email. It's in the show notes. You are not alone in any way, and I think you're here for a reason right now. Your kids are the right kids for you, and you are the right mom for your kids. So whatever's happened, remember, we will never see the finished product of our kids. We just never will, because we're all growing and changing all the time. But we can always praise the effort. Their effort, the tiniest efforts to do the right thing, like one shoe in the shoe bench, one shoe close to the shoe bench, whatever it is, notice progress. Praise the effort. But don't just praise our kids' efforts. Praise your own. You need to be your biggest cheerleader. I can come on here once a week and cheer you on and talk to you over social media. But you're the one who needs to praise your efforts all day long. And it's not arrogance. That's just love. That's what real love is. Noticing that you're trying your best in this moment and you're making an effort. Now let's talk about self-care. Your self-care challenge for this week, this podcast episode, is to write yourself a sticky note for 7 days in a row, more if you can, some sort of progress that you're proud of that day. Cut it out into a heart if you want to, or just use boring squares. It works. But put it somewhere where you'll know that that effort is actually making a difference, where you can feel good for yourself. Maybe it's your planner and not a sticky note on your mirror or your wall or inside your kitchen cabinets like mine. Notice your progress for your self-care this week. No progress is too small to notice. Notice your effort. No effort is too small to notice, because that's what leads to progress. And now for your family fun idea. Okay, it's February, the month of love. My family fun idea this week is to get out scraps of paper and those envelopes and get brown paper bags out and make mailboxes for everybody. And let everyone make love notes for each other. Okay? Set it up. Do it all month long. There is nothing like the bond of a family. So, bond well. Write love notes to each other all month long. Leave out the stickers and scraps of paper, random shapes. And if you got kids who can't write yet, that's awesome. Let them draw pictures. There is nothing wrong that can go in those bags as long as it's nice. Love your family well. That's true effort to acknowledge. Well, I am so glad you're here. Thank you for listening to me on my soapbox today. There is no way to be a perfect mother and a million ways to be a good one. From Churchill. Take that to heart. If you don't have kids, remember you can always change it. There's no way to be a perfect human and a million ways to be a good one. I'm glad you're here.